You want to come?
I put on my fan if it didn't look ridiculous. My hair looks great.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning. So glad to have you here with us today. I'm going to let's see, how do we do this so that, there we go.
There you go.
Okay. We are so excited to be here with you. Let's see who's here today. Let's take a moment and check it out. We have Kim and Karen, and let's see, Kim, I won't be needing your services. I figured out, oh, that's so good. I'm glad. That's the idea, is that you can do it on your own. Okay, Karen, hello from San Antonio, Texas. Norma says, good morning. Karen says, as a 68-year-old, how many grams of plant protein should I have? I've heard 1.2 grams per kilogram or 1 gram per. I have to say, that's a really good question, Karen, and we're going to get to that in a little bit, but we just want to kick off this morning by just letting me introduce my sister to you, who sometimes is here with us, and her name is Faye Weisbaum. Say hello.
Hello.
And she's going to join us, and we're going to have a little talk, a little conversation. Starchy Shauna says hello to me and to Faye. Hi, Starchy Shauna. Carrie says good morning from the Finger Lakes region of New York State. Excellent. Well, glad to have you here with us. Please remember and Roxy says hi. Hello, Roxy. Remember to click on the thumbs up. You'll see a little icon somewhere on your screen. Glenna says good morning from Scarborough, Ontario, Canada. It's raining. Yeah, it's kind of raining here too, on and off. We got in our walk though, didn't we? We went and walked.
Not as far as I'd like to, but we're going to build up to that.
We'll build up. Why? Okay, so let's start right there. Why? I usually do 3 miles a day.
I'm used to air conditioning.
You're used to air conditioning. Are you schwitzing?
Always.
Okay. So why did we walk? How far did you walk?
I'll tell you. I rely on my watch.
On your watch.
I think it was like 1.2 something.
1.2 something. All right. So you walked 1.2 something, and how did that feel?
It felt really good. And Ellen gave me the most wonderful tip. Here's the big question: do you stretch before or after? We stretched during. We stopped after a bit and we stretched. Made a huge difference.
That's interesting. Okay.
Most people think I'm not going to stretch ahead of time because my muscles are cold. I'll wait till the end, but by the end, your muscles are probably tightening up.
I'm going to actually turn my phone on Do Not Disturb so we don't get disturbed in this very important time together. Okay, so yeah, stretching. I'm thinking about when I take my exercise classes at the gym, we don't usually stretch until the end.
Isn't that funny?
So,
but I was having a little feel behind my, in my thigh, on the back of my thigh, I was feeling a little tightness. So it was a good idea to do that.
I want us to be in the middle where you come closer. There we go.
Wiping my sweat.
All right. So, okay. So I want to get back to Karen's question. So Karen, I have to confess that I don't pay a lot of attention to how much protein I'm getting. I believe that I'm getting enough. First of all, whole foods, plant-based whole foods have protein, lots of protein.
Can I go get my fan?
Yeah, you can go get your fan. Whole foods have lots of protein in them. And I also, in addition to, when I write in my titles, starch solution with a plus, it's because I modify it for me, for what works for me. And I'm always making sure that I add extra soy. And the soy is my protein. So whether it's tofu, tempeh, TVP, which is textured. Oh, no, that's not going to work.
Too loud?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Maybe
I'll be fine.
Yeah, I was going to say we could put a fan on, but I don't know. Michael, do we have a fan somewhere that we could put? I mean, you can go upstairs and get a fan. There's a fan upstairs in the closet if you want to get that. It's what? Faye is sweating a lot. I know, but it's too loud. I'm asking my husband. No, it doesn't work like that.
I'll go upstairs.
It's in the upstairs bedroom, not ours, and it's in the closet, and it's on one of the shelves. Just bring it down. Okay, so there she goes. So let me just finish what I was saying. So you can't hear you really couldn't hear. Wait, Faye, come on back. Yeah. Shauna says she couldn't hear the fan. Let's give it a try.
Thank you, Shauna.
We'll give it a try before we get the other fan.
Thank you.
But it's just that it might bug me.
All right, we'll deal with it, right? This is magic.
Tell us about this.
It's a
Because
great
you live in
fan.
Florida and you have a lot of heat you have to deal with, right?
I love this, and it's USB. You charge it, and
Okay.
it has.
All right, put it at the
That's
lowest.
the first lowest. Yeah,
And
that's it.
is that good? All right. Do you guys hear that?
Good. Oh, good.
Wow. Okay.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you, sister.
Uh.
All right. So let me just finish what I was saying about the protein. So I am a big believer in soy as a way to combat menopausal symptoms. So I have soy every single day in many forms. I have soy milk. I have soy yogurt that I make. I have tofu. I have tempeh. I have textured vegetable protein, which is TVP. I have silken tofu. I make tofu pudding. I have right now in the freezer, I don't think I even told you this, I have chocolate sweet potato popsicles that have some tofu in. So anyway, I believe that the soy is really helpful. Okay. So let's start here. This is what we're going to do today. I'm opening up to a Q&A. And Karen, I hope that answer helps you. I think I have a feeling that the amounts you put on in your comment are correct, but I can't speak to it personally because, like I said, one of the ways that I have taken to this whole food, plant-based, oil-free way of life is that I stopped counting, measuring, dividing, portioning. And that's where I failed every single time. Every single time. You know what? Your body is hot. It's like exuding heat. Yikes. That's amazing. That's why you're schwitzing.
I'm a hot
You're
mama.
a hot chick. You're a hot mama.
Okay.
Okay. All right, good. So Karen, that's just kind of my take on it. You know, you can ask somebody else, and I'd be curious to know what Starchy Shauna thinks about that. I just know that for me, it's not something that I don't want to do because I could cry thinking about how many years I spent measuring, portioning, counting points. I still do some measuring, but it's not so. For example, when I make pasta, my oats, because I want to make sure I have the right amount of oats when I cook. Or when I make pasta, I measure out, depending on how hungry I am, either 2 ounces or 3 ounces dry and then cook it. Because a lot of times I don't want to have leftovers. So I want to make just the right amount. And I can't guess by just pulling a handful of spaghetti out of the box. I'm always wrong, you know. So anyway, good morning, Marilyn. Glad to have you here. And so I thought what we would do is a Q&A with questions from you. If you have a question, absolutely put it in the chat. And if I don't see it, make sure to put 4 question marks before it. If I don't see it, either Faye will see it or Sean will see it. And then if we end up, so that's part 1. Part 2, not in any chronological order, I'm going to interview Faye. And part 3 is I have a list of things that we can talk about. So we're here for a while. So pull up a chair and hang out with us. And you might see my husband, Michael. He might pop in and say hello. You might see Faye's husband, Alan. I've asked him to pop in and say hello. So you can see what it's like for the whole family to be a part of this. Okay. And Karen says, I measure my grains because I love them. Yeah. I mean, I can, you know what? Thank you for Michael. Since you're there, can you just wave hello? Okay. Michael's saying hello. What did I teach you about the rice?
A half a cup.
Of cooked or uncooked?
Cooked.
And why?
Because rice is delicious and we have a tendency to want more. And it really, portion control counts with certain foods.
Right. So.
And if you need the ratio with water, like with quinoa or rice or. Yeah.
So I just make sure that I don't take, and actually, you know what? The reason I measure out a half cup of cooked rice is because I could eat a cup. I could eat a cup and a half.
In a minute.
But my hunger cues might not kick in because I love me some rice. And I will end up being too full. I know it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And then I'll be annoyed with myself. My stomach will bother me. And I know that a half a cup of cooked rice is enough for me. You do you. That's what I tell my coaching clients, which, by the way, if you want to coach with me, let me know. Sometimes my email doesn't always work. We know Kim knows that. There's sometimes certain email providers, there's something that happens with my getting the email. So if that happens, another way to get in touch with me is, because there's no way to do it like here on YouTube, but you could go to Instagram, and I will always see messages on Instagram. So you could message me there. And also, I have a crazy busy life, and we have a place in Boston where we go to, and I'm constantly running back and forth. So if I don't answer right away, you can also send me a card like Kim did. I'm not going to announce my address here, but you can go figure it out through the internet, through the interwebs. So in any case, let me move this. I'm just move that out of the way. It's kind of annoying me. Okay. So let's start with Shauna says, I measure out a portion of rice and tofu. Right. And you're eating it right now? Cool.
Well, think about when you go to a restaurant, when you go to an Asian restaurant, they take a cup, a ceramic cup, they fill it with rice, and they turn it over on your plate.
Right, like this.
And I think that's way more than even a cup of rice.
Yeah. It'll be something like this.
But bigger.
But way bigger, right?
Right.
So, and if I am... If I do go to an Asian restaurant, I'm not going to bring a half cup measure with me. I'm not, but I have a good enough sense from doing this so many times.
Yeah.
If push comes to shove, I know what a half a cup looks like.
Right.
So
well, last night I wanted more. We had dinner, and I said to Ellen, can I have a little more, you think? And she looked at me and she said, Shauna will understand this because she says it all the time. Are you hungry? Are you full? Or do you just want more? I said, I just want more. And that was the end of the discussion.
Right. Maybe take your earrings off because they're hitting.
Are they clicking? Okay.
Yeah, they're clicking on that.
Yeah.
So that's all about hunger cues. A cue is something that tells you that something is coming, right? So if you are eating your meal and you get to the end of the meal and you're like, man, that was delicious, I want more. You stop and say to yourself, do I want more because it's delicious, or do I want more because I'm still hungry?
And don't they say it takes a good 15, 20 minutes for your body to signal you that you're full?
Come this way.
Yeah,
I want us to be on the same plane.
Great.
Okay, see how you're behind me? I want you to be okay. So, all right, so that's kind of my 2 cents about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to intermingle. Is that a word? Intermingle. I'm going to ask you questions, and then in the meantime, if I see a question come, or if you see a question with the 4 question marks, then we'll stop and address it. Okay. So the first question I have, hold on, let me turn this off. Okay, the first question I have is, tell us about where you are in your world right now and what your intention is, and you can talk a little bit about the whole boot camp thing, but tell us about you and your situation.
I was strictly whole food plant-based for about 13 years or so, maybe more. And then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, I found that I have a clinical addiction to tortilla chips and anything else that would go in my mouth. And so I put weight on, and I still have that weight on, believe it or not, 5 years later. I get on the bandwagon, and then I get off, and I get on and I get off. So when we talked about coming to see Ellen and Michael, I said to myself, I need a reset. Like, not just Starchy Shauna's reset. I need somebody to boot me into shape. Hence, I said to her the other day, it's my boot camp. So for me, just eating the way I have in the last 2 days, I feel like I'm back on track. And that's the goal. The goal is, yes, I need to lose 20 pounds, but more so, I need to eat healthy for my heart because I have heart disease.
Oh, well, there's a lot we can unpack there.
Yeah.
I should have a pencil and take notes. So the first thing I want to say is, those of you who don't know, Starchy Shauna, who's on here, and that's her YouTube name, please make sure you go and you find her, because she's running a 30-day reset, and I think they're on day 21 maybe. And I'm going to guess that she'll do it again in some way, shape, or form. And it's fabulous. And I'm going to actually, so one of the things that Faye and I are starting today is a 7-day boot camp.
Because I need the boot up my boot.
You need to boot up your boots. So, right. So Shauna, it's day 20 for today. But go seek her out, join her Facebook group. She has a gazillion recipes on her YouTube channel. in the Facebook group. And if you need a little bit of kicking yourself into shape, that's a good place to be. As well, maybe you want to do double duty, as we say, and you could do the remainder. Shauna, can people join in now, even though it's day 20? I've seen in that Facebook group that people are just coming on board today.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, I'm pretty sure that you can start today. And yes, boot camp for the win. And you can also join my boot camp. I'm not even sure yet. I haven't figured out the specifics yet.
She said, yes, you can.
Okay.
Join.
So yes, join Starchy Shauna's group. And I think I'll probably do the boot camp in my Facebook group, which is called, so don't get confused. Ellen's Healthy Kitchen is a page on Facebook, but I also have a group called Ellen's Healthy Kitchen. So when you go do the search in Facebook, you have to make sure you choose the group that's called Ellen's Healthy Kitchen. So I think that's where we will do the boot camp.
Yeah.
And it's going to be 7 days because I'm
going home in about 8 days.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to start today. We actually already started, correct?
She came in and I was just waking up and she said, I already did a loop. You want to come with me? And within like 4 minutes, I brushed my teeth and threw on clothes.
Right. And when we stepped outside, you had a sweatshirt on. What was the first thing you said to me?
It's cold.
It's cold. And I said, you'll warm up, I promise. And by the end of the walk,
whipped off that sweatshirt.
Right. But you did have to tell me to go slower. Right?
I did, because when I started walking up in North Carolina, we spent a month up in the Boone area in July. And I walked so vigorously for 2 days that I pulled out my something back there.
Yeah.
And so I know you got to start slow. Start at your pace.
Right. You do you. And yes, Kim, Full On Plants. Her name is Tia. She's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And she's also there's a whole bunch of really good content creators. And I'm still on the sort of fairly new side of things. So there are things that I'm still learning how to do and how to get better at. I have a couple of ebooks. I'm going to make another one. I actually have a recipe ebook in the making that I'm hoping to maybe in the next couple of weeks, it'll be released. So, okay. So let's get back to, we went for a walk, and then when we came home, we had our breakfast. So let's go back though to the struggles, right? So you first talked about where you are, right, and the fact that, and I said there was a lot there to unpack. Can you talk a little bit about the heart issues and where it started?
Yeah. When I was 55 years old, and I'm now 69. When I was 55 years old, I had a really bad headache. They took me to the...
Wait, where were you when you got the headache?
I was home.
Oh, you were home? I thought you were in a mall.
No, that was a different second time. I was...
Okay.
Yes. And so I had a really bad headache. I had to call for a substitute teacher because I taught early childhood exceptional students. And I went to the urgent care center. Our older sister convinced me to go. So I did. And they said, wow, I had a really bad headache. They were going to send me for a CT scan. But they came in and said, we don't like your EKG. So they sent me to the hospital. Little did I know that when I got to triage, I should have said to them, I'm a cardiac patient. And I did not. So after an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm trying to get us so that you're in the right. Move over. Okay, go.
After an hour and 15 minutes, my blood pressure was 219/97. And I'm a speech pathologist. So I started screaming I was going to have a stroke. She said, if you don't stop screaming, you're going to have a stroke. Long story short, the next day I went to Broward General Medical Center in Fort Lauderdale. They did an angioplasty and found 3 blockages. 3. One was the LAD, which is the widowmaker, and it was 90% blocked. The 2 other ones were, I believe, less than 50, because when they're less than 50, they don't stent them. So I currently have 2 stents. I go home.
Wait, did you have 2 stents put in that day?
I did, yeah.
Like right there?
Oh, I woke up. They said you have 2 stents.
Oh,
yeah.
When they put you to sleep? They didn't say we're giving you.
They did the angioplasty, and as soon as they found the blockages, they put in 2 stents.
But when they did that, how did you get put under?
Oh, I was under anesthesia. I was under. Excuse me. I thought it was twilight sleep, but I don't believe so, because it might have been just twilight. If you've ever had like a colonoscopy, endoscopy, they do twilight. They don't do a full on.
So you're out, but you're not out.
I was out. And so I woke up and my husband said, you had 3 blockages. So I went home and I lined up my medicines. And then about 6 to 8 months later, it happened in April. So in January 1st, I was shopping. I went out shopping to the mall, and I got out of the car and I felt like a little something right in here. Didn't know what it was. It happened. I popped a nitroglycerin because I panicked. 5 minutes later, I popped another one. I called my daughter. I said, let's see how I feel. She said, Mom, meet me at the emergency room. So I went to the emergency room where I lived at that time in Coral Springs, Florida, and they would not treat me because I didn't have my stents put in there. So we had to drive to Fort Lauderdale. They wanted to do another angioplasty. My cardiologist said, we might have to use the S word. Now we know the S word is when we
What's
talk
the
about
S word?
surgery. And I said, So I had another one, and another angioplasty, and they came out and said, you had a spasm. And I said, wait a minute, time out. I went through a second invasive surgery in less than a year, and you told me I had a spasm. Back up a little bit. When I first had the incident, told me about a book by Caldwell Esselstyn
Called?
Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease.
So Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn of the Cleveland Heart Clinic in Ohio wrote a book called Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease. And there's a companion cookbook with it that is also called Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease Cookbook. And I was in health coaching school at the time, and that was one of the books I read. And when she called me to say, okay, Miss Smarty Pants, you're in health coach school. What do we do? What do I do now? I was like, well, I'm not a doctor. I can't give you medical advice, even though I'm your sister. But here are two books you can read. And one of them was Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease. And the other one was called The China Study by Dr. Colin Campbell. And so, okay, you take over. You called me.
I called her. She told me to read the book, and I poo-pooed it.
You didn't want to have anything to do with it.
January, after the second angioplasty, I said, I downloaded it in the hospital. The book. It was like January 3rd. I downloaded it. And at that point, for 15 years, there was no going back. So I did very well with it. I loved it. I felt good. I was a size 4. Not that we're,
You felt good in your body.
I felt healthy because you know what? There was not one day in that period from April till January that I wasn't afraid that I was going to have another incident. I was very grateful because that headache gave me good health, so to speak. And so now I'm back on.
So wait, you went from that for 15
years or so.
Being like super compliant. And also, by the way, do you want to sit? If you do, just tell me because I have stools back there. So you were super compliant. And then what happened?
And then after that second incident, and I got scared out of my pants, I downloaded the book on Kindle, and that's where I have it right now. And
but when did you fall off the wagon, so to speak?
COVID.
So fast forward from 2012-ish, right, to 2020.
Yep.
So for about 8 years, you were very compliant.
I thought it was more than that, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and did you go completely off the deep end?
No, I did not eat meat. I did not eat chicken. I did not eat fish, but I ate tortilla chips.
Why?
Because I like them and they're salty, and I like salt.
But what was it that gave you
boredom from COVID? Nobody could go anywhere.
But you weren't scared anymore?
Of course I was scared, but you know what? COVID put so much stress on all of us in so many ways, right? We all felt, punished by COVID, right, whether we had it or not.
So you were bored, you were home. And would you say that at that point, could you trace back your issue to then and that it just sort of continued? Or were you like this?
No, it spiraled. I was like this. I was like tortilla chips.
And what else?
Just anything and everything. And then eventually about 3 years ago, my triglycerides were really high. And my doctor said, do you eat any salmon? And I said, no, you should eat salmon. So I started eating salmon once every 10 days or so. And by golly, my triglycerides went down. I also exercised like a fiend.
You were walking a lot.
Yes. And I also joined Orange Theory Fitness.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I joined Orange Theory when I lived in Coral Springs when this happened. And nothing was going to stop me. I became a size 4 like that between the exercise and the compliance.
But wait, right. But that was before COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit and the tortilla chips. And then it's been 5 years, would you say, that you're, because when we're together, you're always compliant.
Because I'm with Ellen. I'm with my boot camp coach.
So what happens when you're up until now, because we're going to change
Right.
that.
Temptation, just temptation being with other people, going to restaurants and saying, there's nothing on the menu. I might as well eat something.
All right. So that's a good place to go to now, because we started talking then
Yeah,
about your
right.
struggles. So I asked you this morning what your struggles are. So
But time out. Somebody asked me where I live in Florida. I live near Sarasota. It's a town called Lakewood Ranch, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I live in a 55 plus community that's very active, and that's it.
okay. So let's get back to
Restaurants.
let's go back to struggles. Let's sort of list them, and then we can deal
Yep.
with them
Mm-hmm.
one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Yes.
and you don't, this is not necessarily in order of priority, but let's talk about what, give us one struggle.
My biggest struggle is that my husband's not whole food plant-based. And he brings food into the house, including tortilla chips and Tate's gluten-free chocolate chip cookies, which sometimes I'll have one or two. And then going out to restaurants, those are my two biggest things that sabotage me.
So, okay, let's unpack that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What happens after you eat the chips, while you eat the chips, after you eat them, while you eat the cookies? Does anything happen here?
Oh, I feel horrible.
And
I'm
what
like,
do you,
Faye, you're an idiot. Why did you do that?
you beat
know
yourself
better.
up?
Oh, I beat myself up.
And then does that make you be compliant again?
No, not
No.
when you go to a Mexican restaurant and there's tortilla chips in a basket.
Right, and it's hard to resist them, right?
Now, typically, okay, when I was being compliant, I would go to a restaurant, and Ellen just mentioned that they use a lot, restaurants use oil and rice, but I would get a side order of corn tortillas. I'd get a side order of black beans and a side order of rice.
Wait. Corn tortillas meaning not cooked, not just plain, like heated up.
Yes, correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I get that with rice and beans. Done. And I was with salsa, and I was a happy camper, and I still am when I go to Mexican restaurants because that's what I get.
Okay. So,
but I do eat the guacamole.
Yeah. Okay. And we know about that, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
That's not the worst thing. I think right now the issue is that you self-sabotage when you eat that stuff, and then that spirals and kind of like just makes it worse and worse, because then you feel like, you feel terrible, you feel guilty, you feel stupid, you feel everything, right? Hey, Liquid Hour, that's my friend Nanad.
Have you? Wait, you know what?
What?
Shauna asked me. I did try to go back. About 2 years after.
So
COVID.
like 22?
Yeah, I tried to go back, and then, it's like, what they say, you can't just have one potato chip. Yeah, it spiraled.
So, okay. So let's go back to talking about you. One of the struggles is having food in the house that is not, and remember what we talked about? We came up with two.
Hand to mouth.
Right. So one of them is, we called it HTM.
Right.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about, I suggested that she employ this idea of HTM, which is
hand to mouth.
And those foods are,
you can open your pantry and find a box of something that you don't have to cook. That's there, i.e. tortilla chips, crackers,
things that come out of a bag or a box.
Right.
Essentially.
Even rice cakes. Yeah.
Rice cakes. Right. And why are they so easy? And why are they so easy to eat?
Well, they fuel my hunger if I'm hungry and I'm too lazy to go in the kitchen and prepare.
And do you remember I made a suggestion to you based on something Shauna has taught us? Do you remember what I said, what she does when she's cooking? What does she do?
She does not taste from her cooking. How many of us cut up whatever we're cutting up and then take a bite while we're eating, and then another bite, and before you know it, you get to the dinner table and you're like up to here with food.
Full. You're full, right? So, So what does Shauna do?
She stopped.
What does she have prepared for herself on the counter?
Oh, a healthy snack?
Like some carrots or some celery.
Yes, something.
And she allows herself to have that, right?
Yes.
So that's one way to combat that. And the thing is that when you allow yourself to do HTM, hand to mouth, right? You sort of, when a car drives in a driveway that's made out of dirt, and it creates a rut for the tires. And then eventually that rut is so ingrained in the dirt that it's there. It's almost like packed, right? And so that's what happens. There's this something that goes on in your brain that gives you permission to continue to do the HTM, the hand to mouth. And you're just continuing to support and tell your brain that it's okay to do that, even in many cases without even thinking about it. You're just doing it kind of mindlessly, right? It's mindless eating. It's mindless eating, right? So what do you think about trying to eliminate and erase that HTM?
Well, Ellen gave me a really good suggestion about HTM foods. She said to me, why don't I get a big Tupperware box like Sterilite and take all the things that are not compliant for me that my husband eats that are HTMs and put them in the box.
Like the chips, like the crackers like the
and chips and cookies and put them in the garage. And that's an option for me now, especially since we insulated our garage this summer so it doesn't get, very hot.
And do you foresee potentially a problem with that? Could there be a problem? I mean, the best thing is to not have it in the house at all, right? But short of that, because your husband's got to live and make his own choices, right? And you can't beat him up for that. He has to be able to do that. So short of that, what can you do to make sure that you don't go into the garage and open the box and say, well, just this one time I'm going to have a chip or a cookie?
I don't know. I just think just reminding myself and trying to stay compliant, and I can put a sticky note on the box. Faye, go home, go back, go back to the kitchen.
Right. Okay. And so that was one thing. We talked about HTM, right?
Yes.
And what is she going to do about her husband? Judy asks.
Nothing.
Because we talked about that.
Because he has his own mind. And he can make his own decisions.
And it's not your business.
No.
Right?
I think the only thing that would change my husband's mind is if he had an incident, which I do not wish on him at all. But, so many people think they're fine. My doctor said I'm fine. My doctor said I'm fine. But you know what? I didn't have any blockages prior to my 55th birthday. What was that all about?
Right. So it didn't just happen.
No.
Right. It was years and years and years of eating butter and saturated fat and meat and oil and French fries made in oil and foods, crackers, chips, cookies that you just, even though you were, you could eat vegan crackers, cookies, chips. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that they're going to support your health goals. Right. And they're good. Right. Don't get me wrong. Right. I love me some chips. Right. I love me some cookies, but I don't eat them. They're not, I say it's not my food.
We talked about NMF, not my food.
It's
well, you know what they say to go onto the outside aisle
of the supermarket.
Unless you're buying some condiments, which you'll need like soy sauce. I am also gluten-free. Ellen and I both have celiac disease, so I go on the inside aisle if I want to get condiments, whether it's ketchup or soy sauce or mustard or whatever is there, pasta. But for the most part, you know what, Shauna? No, I'll tell you why. I don't cook his food. He sometimes eats what I make. He likes it. Good job, Faye. But for the most part, he likes salmon. Last week he made ground turkey into a Mexican bowl of sorts. And it probably sounds really cruel, but you want to eat that? You're going to make it. And you know what? Toady, is that how you say your name? Toady?
Toddy.
Yeah. Esselson says, Dr. Esselson says, don't eat anything with a mother or a face. So no, Shauna, I don't cook for him unless he wants to eat my food.
And now we're the opposite. I cook for Michael, but I'm okay doing that. First of all, Michael doesn't eat meat, red meat, and I don't even make chicken at home. Sometimes he'll have it out. The only thing I make for him here is salmon. Right. But otherwise, and he eats cheese. So I can't make him follow this for ethical reasons, for medical, for health reasons. I can't because he has to come to that on his own. We're each in charge of what we put on our forks and what we bring to our mouth. He
eats eggs and cheese on the daily.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, like I said, everybody has to make up their own mind. So, all right. So we're going back to the struggle. So, I'm going to cross my fingers and toes and hope that either you put those, the problem is going to be if he brings them into the house, and maybe you can come up with a strategy. For example, you could have a set of plastic or whatever, porcelain bowls that is inside that container, right? And you just say to him, when you go to the garage to take out the chips, for example, please, pardon me, take out what you want, put it in your bowl,
and be done,
and leave the bag in the garage. Because if he brings the bag into the house, what's going to happen? It's going to tempt you.
It's going to tempt me.
And
until I get over this hump, because for umpteen years, it didn't tempt me at all. I would see this all the time. I'd go to a Mexican restaurant and not have the tortilla chips. But until you feel confident in your own ability to stick to the whole food plant-based, you've got to set up strategies.
You have to figure out how to, and if it's not working, rather than continuing to ram that behavior and do it again and just beat yourself up, you have to be curious.
Yeah.
Instead of beating yourself up, you have to be curious and say, what is it about my decision to eat those chips? What is it about that decision that sabotaged me, and what can I do differently? Okay. Yeah. So that leads me to, we talked about what are some things you can do. Remember, we talked about this on the walk. What are some things that you can do that involve action?
Well, prep food.
So you can prep food. What else can you do? If you are like, oh, I really want to have some chips, can you change that into what can I do now to occupy myself that's going to be helpful and also make me happy?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I crochet.
Right. But crocheting is okay, but not if you're going to sit and crochet and eat.
Right. I can crochet. Okay. I can go clean the bedroom or the bathroom or something. I could go out for a walk.
Oh, we talked about cleaning. Remember, remember the little trick I told you, the fun trick that I do?
She sets the timer.
So after dinner, I'm the one that does the dishes. Michael, will help with other things, but I'm the one that does the dishes. Right. And so what I do is when we're finished with dinner, I come and I examine the mess that I made, and I determine how much time it's going to take me to clean it up. Right. And then I literally set a timer on my phone. I set it or Michael will set it for me and go. And then I see if I can literally finish everything dried, put away, dishwasher, full, food that goes back in the fridge, and I try to do it in that, and that becomes like a fun little game for me. So you could do that with cleaning. You could say, I'm going to clean all the bathrooms on days that maybe weeks you don't have a house cleaner. I'm going to clean all the bathrooms, whether they need it or not. And I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes.
Just get past that urge to eat something.
Get past that urge, right?
Because you said, am I hungry or am I just bored?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And when you want, and also same thing with meals. I learned this a long time ago from a friend, which is he never takes seconds. And because the truth of the matter is, and I'm going to guess that everybody here let's see in the comments how many people agree with me. Once you fill your plate with a modest, decent amount of food, it doesn't have to be modest, whatever, you fill your plate and you eat it and you're done. And you see more sitting on the counter or more on your table and you want more of it. Are you really hungry?
Or you just want to eat?
Or you just want to eat because it was good and it's there, right? So,
well, you know what? The breakfast bowl, for example, Ellen measured out a half a cup of oats for each of us. And the bowl was full. Why? Because it had shredded zucchini, it had some smashed banana, it had some shredded carrots.
Cauliflower, frozen rice cauliflower.
It was a huge bowl.
It was ginormous.
A huge bowl. And I'm like, that came from a half a cup of oats.
Yeah. I mean, we dress it up, right?
Yep.
Right. So Karen says no seconds. Yeah. And I think do you think that you could make that a rule for yourself? Could you say
absolutely.
No seconds?
Absolutely.
But what do you do if you're like, oh, I really want it? Like if you go into the wine stage, and I don't mean the wine that you drink. I mean the wine that like, oh, but I really want it. It was so good. I want more.
Well, I'm going to take a picture of Ellen and I'm going to put it all over my house.
And I'm going to be like, this.
Shauna, you could send me a picture. I'll put you all over my house too.
Yeah. Carrie says I'm a sucker for seconds. Yeah. And you know what? The other thing is that, especially as we get older, we need less food. It's the truth. It sucks because sometimes the food is so delicious. We want more. But the truth is that you don't need it. And it's not good for you to fill up so much that your stomach is distended. You don't sleep well. You have indigestion. It's just not good to overeat at all.
Absolutely.
Right. So yeah, I can always eat more. But the part of me that can always eat more is not the hungry part.
It's
It's up here. It's
up
the,
here.
oh, that looks good. I think I
Right,
want
like
more.
the tofu last night was so good. I wanted more. Not so much.
Right?
Right. Yeah.
We both wanted more. So, okay. So struggles. One struggle was dealing with Alan's choices. And my suggestion to you was to not berate him and to not beat him up and to not lecture him and actually to sort of butt out was what I said.
Because he always takes 2 servings.
But that's his decision.
His
and it's his
prerogative.
business. It ain't not my bit. We got to write up these little isms,
or
right?
as my daughter said, none ya.
None ya. It's none ya business.
None ya.
Right. So not my business. NMB. I need to remember that. Can somebody put that in the chat? We have an NMB, which is not my business.
You have hand to mouth.
And we have hand to mouth. HTM, which is hand to mouth. Yeah. Do we have any others?
We did before, but
we did, but they're gone.
Yeah. That's what happens when you turn gray.
All right. So struggle one, we've dealt with. What's another struggle, would you say, that keeps you from the straight and narrow?
Restaurants.
Okay, wait. So Toady wants to know, I hope we're saying your name right. Can you please answer me about eating animals? I'm not sure what the question was.
Well, the fat, you know what? They're fat. Well, number one, so bad for the environment. So bad. B, they're just full of fat.
Saturated fat.
Saturated fat. Be it chicken or pork or
salmon even has saturated fat, especially farm raised.
Right.
So, you know, the white stripes that are in
that's
the
fat.
That's fat. So Toady says we have party for the animals and they suggest to make glass walls for slaughterhouses. Glass walls so that you can see what's going on.
People could see. And maybe if they see how they slaughter animals. Watch some of those Netflix. There's some Netflix shows movies that are real documentaries that are amazing about that. And they tell you, I hate to be graphic, but they tell you how they hang up the chickens and cut off their heads while they're alive.
And you know, the funny thing is that there's this sort of disconnect with people who have, and all of us, myself included, right? We have pets, no matter what kind of pet it is, and they're real live beings. Right. And yet, and that we love, we cuddle with our dogs, with our cats, right? And yet we're okay with eating those animals. We're okay with somebody killing those. And that's what has to happen. Somebody killed those animals so that we could eat them. And so I did not start out being an ethical, whole food, plant-based person. Right. Yeah. I started out doing it for my health and because I wanted to get off the diet roller coaster. But now I'm starting to, like almost 7 years later, now that I have my patterns and my beliefs and I know what my why is as far as my health goes and my body.
Right.
I'm starting to put the other piece in, which is around the ethics of eating animals or anything that comes from a face. That's how, if it comes from a face,
or
a mother, that's, but it's so hard to do that because we are brought up. I'm guessing in most countries,
like indoctrination.
We're indoctrinated with it from a very early age.
Yep.
Right. So anyway, let's go back to, so I hope that answered the question about eating animals. Both of us really started out from a health standpoint and from a vanity standpoint. And then it's sort of, slowly morphed into, and I think whatever your path is, however long it takes, it doesn't, you do you, as I tell my coaching clients.
And you're right, it is harm that we are doing.
We are doing harm to living beings. And so it's hard though, when you're around other people who eat a certain way, it's hard to not. So you're going against the grain. Trust me when I tell you, I can think the friends that I have that eat the way I eat are mostly my internet friends who I wish that we could just move to a commune together and
telling you, just put me on a kibbutz.
Right, exactly. Carrie says, my husband eats omni. Okay, that's meat. And it's a struggle not to politely guide him to eat healthier. Faye can talk about that. I'm telling myself to be an example rather than verbally telling him. I continue to show him. Yeah.
And that's what you need to do. That's the only thing you can do.
Right. So I'm asking you to make a pledge, a Girl Scouts pledge. Is that a Girl Scout thing? And okay. And just say that for the remainder of my trip here until I leave or until Alan leaves,
right?
That because he's leaving earlier, that you're not going to say a word to him about his choices.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and unfortunately, very, very unfortunately, his genes his mother and his aunt, they were all morbidly
Morbidly.
obese.
And we have think about all of mommy's siblings.
Right.
The only one that didn't had a modest was Aunt
Aunt Kitsy.
Kitsy. Right. Okay. So
You just have to, like Ellen says all the time, you do you. And I do try to make meals that I know that he likes. You know, I made bean chili. He loves that. Soups, he loves my soups. Soup.
right. So
Yeah.
but if he chooses to have a grilled cheese sandwich or a grilled tuna fish sandwich or a grilled chicken or a grilled salmon or whatever, that's his, you know, I think it's the respectful way to do. And it's hard when you've been married for a long time. You know,
38 years.
38. It's hard when you see somebody doing something that bugs you or pisses you off. It is hard. It's hard. But you just made a Girl Scouts promise.
I did.
All right. Toady says, I was riding across a truck full of pigs early in the morning. That made me a vegetarian.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That little oink oink is adorable.
Those oink oinks are adorable. I mean, have you ever read Charlotte's Web? Try reading that. And Kim says I had to switch because of alpha gal. Can you say more about that, Kim? Because I'm not sure what you mean by that. And by the way, if you're watching, please click on the thumbs up emoji because that tells YouTube that we're speaking about things that are worth following. Okay. It's somewhere on your screen. For us, we're on a laptop. Are you not cold? Like,
no, I'm loving this.
So I can leave that open?
Yeah.
Yikes, I'm freezing.
Florida.
Okay. All right. I will do that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about this. Let's continue on the struggle bus. All right. Where else are you on the struggle bus besides what Alan brings into the house?
Going out for dinner.
With friends, without friends?
Either or.
Both?
Mostly with friends because you know what? We're retired. What do you do when you retire? You go out for dinner. Not a lot, but we do go out for dinner.
Okay, so when you go out for dinner, we talked about something. What do we talk about? Do you remember?
Bringing something with me.
Okay, but even before that, look at the
menu prior to leaving the house.
So go online. You do that a lot. And if you you know, you're not going to find a lot. You're not.
No.
You're not going to find a lot, but you're going to be generally, and you can also call ahead and speak to the manager and say, hey, I don't see anything on the menu that really works for me. Can you make me a huge plate of steamed vegetables? Can you make me a potato that has no butter, no oil, no, just like a naked potato?
Yep, I've done
and
that.
Either they say yes or they say no, and in which case I bring my own. Go to Home Goods, go to TJ Maxx, go to Marshall's, go to Target, go to Walmart, and find yourself a cute insulated bag and some really cute thermos type things. I have a whole array of them, and make it special for yourself. And you know what? Bring that stuff with you. And I can tell you this, your dinner mates are going to be like, WTF, what are you doing?
And then you know what? Like you have this spice that you said, this dilly delicious that Anna Marie does. I would bring a seasoning with me.
Bring a seasoning with you. I bring my own dressing.
Right.
I bring my own dressing. I have cute little containers that I bring. And I don't think twice about it because I'm not, what happens is if I go to a restaurant and I'm not compliant because they don't have what I want and they didn't make the effort to figure out how to make it work for me. When I get home from that, actually, the moment I walk out of the restaurant, I'm going to be berating myself and beating myself up. I don't want to do that.
It's true.
I love myself.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a pretty hot shit. I'm a pretty hot shit and I don't want to do that. So I have to make sure that I am compliant because I'll tell you what, our family, my mother had 4 siblings. There were 5 of them and they were all overweight, some of them obese. And they all had lifestyle diseases that took them down. Literally, they died from them. I don't want to have that happen. I want to be around for a really long time. I want to travel. I want to be with my husband. I want to continue to go to the gym as much as I can. I want to play my music. I'm also a musician. I want to cook. I want to learn. I want to get back to doing Zentangle, which is an art form with a pen. There's a lot of things I want to do. My sister's going to teach me how to crochet. Right. So,
well, like Toddy said, Toddy, I don't know if I'm saying it right. You said that there's a lot of experimentation with animals that benefit humans. Think about all the things all the bottles you read that says not tested on animals. There's got to be a way that the industry And I'm sure the pharmaceutical industry has a huge amount of money in that. Testing without testing on animals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's got to be.
Yeah. And also we have
Mhm.
two people, Kim, well, no, one person, Kim says she has alpha-gal. Is it a disease? Is it a condition? What word can we use for it? But
Mhm.
from a tick bite, from the
Mm.
Lone Star tick, which means I can't eat anything from four-leggeds, but animal byproducts is in everything. True.
Mhm.
And that's why you have to
Yeah.
be your own best advocate.
Right.
And you have to read labels like it's your job, right? Because you're
Yeah.
right. There is,
Mhm.
and that's why whole food plant-based, oil-free is your best friend, because the closer you can eat to the origin of the food,
Mhm.
the better it's going to be for you. And if you haven't read the Starch Solution, by the way, or China Study, or Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease,
Mhm.
do yourself a favor. Watch Forks Over Knives. Watch The
Mhm.
Game Changers. There's a million.
Mhm.
Watch What the Health. There's a million documentaries that you can watch.
Mhm.
So
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to give you one example of how it benefits your body. I just thought of it, and if I don't say it, I'll forget it. Is that about 4 months after I went whole food plant-based, I went to the dentist for a cleaning. The dental hygienist told me, "Why are your gums so pink? I've never seen such pink gums." And I told her that how I was eating. And so there's so many benefits that are beyond the weight, beyond the weight, beyond your heart. It heals everything. Right? I remember calling you and telling you that the hygienist said that. I was like, ooh.
And yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not to say that it's going to cure your gum disease or whatever, but it might help it.
Right.
It might help it.
Right.
Okay. I want to go on. Let me just look at my phone for a second. I just want to see. Okay. The struggle. We're talking about the struggle bus. So when you go out, before you go out,
Yep.
look at the menu online. Every restaurant has the menu.
Absolutely.
Look at that menu and decide if you can't remember it and you don't want to, really scrub the menu when you get there. Write it on a piece of paper. Write it on your phone. Put it somewhere so you'll see it. And when you get to that restaurant, and so let's give some examples. The most successful restaurants that I go to are Asian restaurants, for sure.
Always.
Okay. It's I will eat sushi. Sushi, I make an exception for because I believe that some Asian restaurants will put oil in their rice, than their sushi rice. I wish that it weren't so, but we don't go out, more than once a month for that. And, so it's not a huge concern, but I'll get sushi. The Asian restaurants I go to that we go to always have, what do you call it? Hold on, it's coming. They always have steamed vegetables. And sometimes, like, there's this one restaurant we go to, and the steamed vegetables, it kind of pisses me off. They're $16 for this, but it's a massive bowl and they cook them to perfection. Like perfect. They're not, cooked to death. And so for me, it's worth it. And if I have that bowl of $16 bowl of veggies and I order a side of rice, I'm happy as a pig in you know what.
I've done that many times.
Okay, so that works for me. So I will sometimes have miso soup, but miso soup is often made. Did you know this? With oil. So you got
it at home. It doesn't.
No, of course, but restaurants sometimes. So you have to just be really, really vigilant. You have to be vigilant because nobody's going to care the way you do. They're not. And the minute you step off of that, okay, if you're deciding you're going to be compliant, the minute you step off, it gives you permission to step off again and again and again.
I said it's like it's like the domino. You push that one domino,
right,
and all the dominoes will fall, and that's what happened to me.
Yeah, right.
Lots of dominoes.
Starchy Shauna says I should do a weekly Zoom live for a check-in with Faye. How can we do that?
Because you go live and I ask if to join. Right?
You can do that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
There's somewhere right. It says that you can.
All right, we'll experiment with it and we'll play and see if we can do that. There are other programs but I don't feel like spending. They're expensive.
No. You can. I can ask you to join.
Okay. All right, so we'll take a look at that. So struggle bus, let's go back on the struggle bus, okay? So going out to eat, look at those menus before you leave the house. Look at it the night before if you can. Give yourself time to really examine it. be strong in your conviction, because I can pretty much guarantee you that your dinner mates, your table mates are going to say something to deride you and take you. They'll say,
But you know what? It depends on the friends. I have some close friends that say, let's go out to eat. Can you eat at this restaurant?
right. They know now.
They know.
And if they're good friends, they'll know.
Exactly.
Right. So, I was saying to you that Asian restaurants, whether
Mhm.
not so much Chinese, but Japanese restaurants and
Mhm.
Thai restaurants and Vietnamese restaurants are the three that really work best for me. And I can also go to sort of your standard American restaurant, your steak joint, and I can always get a baked potato. And we have a local pizza place that I was there last week with my daughter, and I asked them, they have salad on their menu and they have gluten-free pizza. Now, the gluten-free pizza might be made with oil, but as a once in a blue moon, if everybody else is going, and what I will do is I will, and I asked him about this. I said, would you make me a salad pizza? And he was like, what is a salad pizza? And I said, well, you basically take your what do you call it? Your crust, and you make it in the pizza oven, and then you take it out and you put a salad on top of it.
You know what, to elaborate on that, there's a pizza place at home that I go to that I usually get the Mediterranean pizza. They take the cauliflower or the gluten-free crust and they put a very thin layer of hummus. So if you wanted to, you could bring a little container of your homemade hummus there and dollop it around.
And you could just dollop it on the pizza. Or you could also even take that hummus, which we make homemade hummus.
Right.
You can take that hummus and you can add a little bit of salsa to it, and it thins it out. And you could add a little bit of balsamic vinegar, and it thins it a little. And then you have a dressing that you put over the pizza. So now you have a salad pizza.
Absolutely.
So it's learning. It's really learning new behaviors, new habits, and it's then entrenching them so that it becomes the rut that those tire tracks make. So Tony says, do you have pets? I do not.
I had a dog for 16 and a half years before he passed.
So great idea on the hummus. Okay, struggle bus. So going out to eat, we know we're going to look at the menu.
Yes.
That's a no-brainer. Right. That's easy to do.
Yep.
Dealing with, I want to ask you, have you ever had a situation where friends have mocked you or given you a hard time? No. No,
I really don't.
Okay.
You know, they've asked me why I eat that way, and I tell them, and that's the end of the story.
And you have to keep it short, honey. You got to keep it short, because they don't really, the truth is that they don't really want your whole encyclopedic answer. They just
what? I don't get on my pedestal, because you know what? If they want to ask me, they'll ask me. I don't need to be on my pedestal.
Right. So it's just the short and sweet, you know. And actually, I have found that the best short and sweet answer is, I feel better when I eat this way. Were they going to argue with me?
But if I say, which I have often done, and I say, oh, I've had heart disease, they're like, oh, explain. My pleasure.
Okay. And then you go a little bit on your pedestal?
Teeny, tiny bit.
Okay.
One little step.
One step. So, okay. So the struggle bus. We've already talked about that. Any other struggles that you would say? What about when you're with your kids, when you drive 3 hours to go to the East Coast?
Oh, Amy always has food for me. They don't ridicule me. She has a lot of food in her house. She's got 2 children and a husband. And
are you sometimes
envious?
And do you sometimes want to have what the kids have? Do you take bites of their sandwiches?
I don't take bites of their sandwiches, but it's awfully tempting. Okay. I was there 2 weeks ago, and
what do you do when you're there for your food?
I have oats.
Okay.
I have oats. A lot of vegetables. I'll make a salad and I'll nurse that salad. You know, I make a really big salad and I take what I want, and then I take a wet paper towel and put it inside the bowl. And that will keep it fresh. Yeah.
And you can also, I think Shauna said that when she goes out, she gets a salad. That's great. Bring your own dressing, bring your own balsamic vinegar. Right. And I also will bring, I'll bring potatoes, a potato in my purse. Right. I'll bring potatoes, and I will bring already made tofu, which we have in the fridge right now. And they'll bring me my salad, and I'll add my dressing and my tofu.
Years ago, when I first moved here, I went to a restaurant with my sister Beth, and I took a little can of the Hanover chickpeas, because it came in a little can, and I took it to a restaurant and I put it up on the table. Now, she's my fraternal twin sister, Beth, and she was like this. What are you doing? I said, I'm good. I didn't care.
Right. You just have to not care. You have to not care. So fruit flies. Good question. If you look behind us, I'm going to show you. We do get a lot of fruit flies, and because it's summer here, right now this is covered with a towel. This is peaches. And we're going to do something with these today.
Yes.
I don't know what we're going to do yet.
You know what? I cut peaches up and put it in my. So we went to North Carolina, for the month of July, and the peaches from South Carolina that they bring up are to die for, literally. So I cut that up and put it in my salad, and it was
Yummy.
yummy, yummy, yummy.
I was thinking about cutting it up and putting it in maybe some. You remember yesterday we had a delicious snack. Remember between.
Yes.
Right at the end of the day.
Yes.
It was like 2 hours before dinner.
It was so good.
Do you remember what was in it?
Yeah.
What was in it?
So it was yogurt. Or was it soy?
It was oat yogurt.
Oat yogurt. It's that, I think, a Scandinavian name to it.
Yeah. And I don't usually eat
Typically,
that yogurt, right? Because it's not it's NMF.
Right.
But I do use it as a starter for my when I make my homemade soy yogurt. So I had a little tiny bit of it left. So I didn't want to waste it. So I used that. And there was very finely chopped up apple. And there was cinnamon.
Golden raisins.
And
not a lot.
Not a lot, just a little sprinkle. And some very little tiny bit of chopped pecans.
So good. So good. And here's the thing. Yes, portion control isn't something that, you want to be concerned about all the time. But I want to show you the bowl that we use. So the thing is
tiny.
Yes.
Right. All right. Do you know where it is? It's in that cabinet. Yeah. So, and this boot camp, I'm going to have to decide whether that was allowed on the boot camp. I have to think about it.
So here is a little doll. My mother used to call this a monkey dish. Anybody else? A monkey dish? Remember? She called it a monkey dish. So she didn't give me a big bowl. Because if she gave me a big bowl with a little bit of yogurt, I would have felt slighted. But you know what?
It filled the bowl.
It's perfect.
It was mostly apple.
So good.
It was so delicious.
So good.
Right?
Well, your chopping tool doesn't hurt.
Yeah. So plastic is a whole other situation. And I'm trying, God knows I am trying to get rid of plastic, but it's everywhere. And I will tell you that there was somebody in my life, I'm not going to name names, whose son is having issues with growing too fast. And the doctor, who was a pediatric endocrinologist, said that there's so much plastic in our world that it's getting into our food. It's getting, it's in our laundry. It gets into our clothes. It gets into our skin, and that we have to. And it was recommended to her that she really try to limit and it's hard to do it. I mean, look around this kitchen. There's so much plastic and everything. It's hard. But I think we have to really work hard at. So, okay, struggle bus.
Hi, Green Lady. How are you? How's the humidity in Florida these days?
Struggle bus. So,
going out for dinner, having a spouse who's not.
Right. How about going to people's houses?
You know what? I am so blessed. I have the most wonderful friends. And when I go there, before I even go, they say, what can you eat? I went to visit a friend in White Plains, New York for 4 days before we came here. And she went food shopping and bought me gluten-free oats. She bought me almond milk. She bought me, she didn't know I wasn't going to eat it, but I did eat it because I was there. She bought me gluten-free pretzels. She bought me a bunch of gluten. I know, but
you're not going to do that. Because what are those foods under what umbrella? The
NMH, not my NMF, not my foods. Both.
NMH.
Not my foods and hand-to-mouth disease.
Hand-to-mouth. That's like hoof and mouth disease. That's hand-to-mouth disease. Okay, we have to modify it. It has to be HTMD, hand-to-mouth disease. So we can't do that, right? So anyway, the struggles. Do you feel like we kind of covered it?
Yeah, I mean, those are my struggles: going out for dinner and then his not being on the same page.
Okay, and also that you fell off the wagon. And
yes,
I tried to suss out for you, and I still don't really understand. Maybe you can explain more why. What the boredom from COVID and why you why weren't you scared about the heart stuff?
I can't answer that. I can just say that it spiraled out of control, and I thought, well, what the heck? I'm eating it now anyway. And then I also stopped exercising as much, which to me is like a biggie. When I went to Orange Theory Fitness 3 times a week, was I fit? And the reason why I quit, which I'm not happy about. The reason why I quit is because I felt like I couldn't keep up with all the youngins. But you know what? I should have stayed with it and done and you do you. and do my own pace.
In my exercise classes, that's what our instructors always, I think they're all trained
They
that
all
way.
say
They
that.
all say you do you, and they always give modifications.
Yes.
They'll give like 3 different ways to achieve the same result with modifications.
I wish I knew why I fell off.
You're going to sneeze? Here.
Okay. Thank you.
Here.
I wish I knew why I fell off. I do.
Yeah, it's so vaccinations. We have taken vaccinations. That's another whole other topic, and glad you asked. And it is a whole other topic. So Kim says I don't get invited anymore. Yeah, my husband says that we have no friends, which is not true, actually. You think it's true? You do? Why do you think it's true?
Well, we still have friends. They just don't invite us to dinner anymore.
Does that make you sad?
Does it make me sad?
Does it make you angry? Does it make you? Do you have feelings about it?
What's that?
Do you have feelings about it?
Do I have feelings about it?
Yeah, feelings.
I do have feelings.
And what are those feelings?
No, I'm not going to share.
Well, okay.
In a public forum, forget it.
Okay.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
You know what? I have a friend who always says to me, I'm cooking separately for you.
You have good friends.
My friend Ellen
You
Lance.
have good friends who do that.
Yeah. I
Right?
mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
Right?
And you know what? Actually, Kim, you bring up a really good point, which is this. Food has always been, probably for eons, a reason
It's a
for
social
people
thing.
to get together.
Mhm.
Why? Why can't we just get together to get together? Why can't the get together part of it be the primary reason we're meeting each other? Why does the food? What? Why stop?
Because food is communal.
You know what? I also bring my food. If I go to a friend's house that I know this isn't going to have anything for me, I bring my own. It's not a big deal.
People have been meeting over dinner since the Middle Ages.
Right?
But that doesn't mean that we can't modify it.
Boring.
Well, like I said, if they don't have food for me, I bring my own food. It's not a big deal.
Right. Right. And
Really.
that's
And the
that's
saddest
truth.
part is that our other sister, Beth, my fraternal twin sister, her husband does all the cooking. And so when I go there for dinner, Joey makes animal fat.
He makes steak.
He makes steak and he makes chicken and sausage. And so he does the cooking. And my sister, Beth, I love you, Beth, has never said to me, what can we make for you? Because I have always said, I'll bring my own.
Yeah, and that's just kind of what we do. And
Accept it.
and the other thing too is I don't totally agree with what was just said, because we only moved here a couple of years ago, and a lot of the people that live around here, like there's 2 friends that we have here on the street who don't live here full time, and they have invited us many, many times for meals. And she always says to me, "What can I do? What can you have of what I'm eating?"
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Right.
And then otherwise, there's just, I don't think that there's people here that would do that. I just do. We have another couple. They're very much senior, elderly, and not in great health. So where they used to invite us, I think they're probably not doing that anymore.
Right.
And we have another set of friends that do invite us when they're here. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna keep. I think the struggle bus has been dealt with. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
The struggle bus has 4 flat tires.
And by the way, four flat tires. By the way, also, Michael, the other thing is that, we have to deal with not just my being whole food plant-based, but you have issues too. So it's not just because of the whole food plant-based.
Dietary needs.
No, you have
How do you
dietary
like
needs.
those cookies? Are they good?
Yeah. You have dietary needs.
Right.
Oh. More than one ingestion is using this. I have no idea what that means. That's very weird.
Send one.
Can you guys still hear us? There's a little notice that says more than one ingestion is using the primary URL. I don't even know what that means. Send one stream to the primary ingestion URL and done. Okay, so
in one.
Yeah. Okay.
Shauna asked me
but before, Shauna, are we having a problem? Is there any disruption in the live? Okay, you can hear.
Good.
Okay, so
so Shauna asked me, what is my goal? You know what? I say size because I know that when I'm a size 4, and I still have a lot of clothes in my closet that are a size 4, I know that when I get there, my weight will be where I want it to be. I think at this point, I probably need to lose a good 20 plus pounds.
Well, what would your goal if
So mad
you
at
could
myself.
be well, you have to not be mad at yourself. I mean, I know it's hard to
It's
say.
hard not to be mad at yourself. I'm so mad at myself. I just went, I slid down that slippery slope.
So if you had to be 100% thoroughly honest, without embarrassment,
Of course,
without humiliation,
Yeah.
how many pounds do you want to lose?
25.
Okay. 25. That would do it. You'd be right where you needed to be.
Absolutely.
Okay. How long was, Shauna, tell us how long it took you to lose 25 pounds. And also, I was going to tell you this. Shauna
Take
suggested-
before pictures.
Yeah, we're going to do that. I know you don't
Yes,
want to,
I
but they're
know,
going to
we're
be in
gonna.
underwear
Thanks.
and a bra or a bathing suit,
Thanks.
right?
You can see all my rolls.
Okay. So we're going to do that. And because then when you can compare it later,
It's important. You're
You
right,
know?
Shauna. You're right. Face,
so,
face the music, right?
right, if you lost 2 pounds a month, just conservatively,
Yeah.
then how many months would it take you? It would take you
A
a
year.
year. Okay. Would you like a year from now when you're back up here visiting us, would you like to be at your goal?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
So, you do
Yes,
that.
yes,
It's
yes.
isn't it? It's better to lose it slowly.
Right.
That's because
Much better.
not just physiologically, but because the longer you do it and the longer you're compliant, the more
Mhm.
those habits are going to stick.
Here, she said at week 15, I had
15.
lost 24.7.
Okay. So
Oh, absolutely. When I first started this, the weight just fell off.
so that's 3 months. That's not a year.
No, I could do it in 4 months easily.
Okay.
by
So where does
sticking
that
with-
bring us? To the end of the month? I mean, the end of the year,
Yeah,
pretty much. Okay. So how about we aim for my birthday?
I'd love that. December 16th.
Right? Aim for my birthday.
Yes.
Right. And just
yes.
what can we do to support you?
I have to have an accountability partner. I hate to say that at the beginning, and Ellen's got to be my accountability partner.
Which is hard for me because A, I'm your sister, and B, I know you don't want to, you have to, I think to some extent you have to give me some guidelines because I don't
Right.
want to piss you off. I don't want you to hang up the phone and go, God
Damn it, she keeps giving me her opinion.
Yeah. We have to figure out how to make
Yes,
that
yeah,
work.
yeah.
Right.
Yes.
By the way, if you're watching,
I could call Shauna,
you can call Shauna, right?
right?
Yes. And we're going to check in on Zoom.
Yes.
Maybe we'll do it once
Right.
a week.
Right.
Whose phone is that? Oh, that's, hold on.
And you know what else? Shauna lives close to me. We discovered that. And I said that after I come back from my trip that we were going to maybe I'll have her over for lunch.
Yeah.
That would be cool,
A
right,
nice
Shauna?
compliant lunch, right?
I know Green Lady lives near me too.
That would be fun.
Anybody else live near me?
Yeah, I'm going to have to come down. That's all there is to it. Okay, so let's just review, right? So the struggle bus we've talked about. I think
Mhm.
we've kind of nailed that.
Yes.
And we talked about your story and why this happened. And let's see. Tony says it's not about being slim; it's about being healthy. 100%.
You're absolutely right, but it goes together for me. So instead of me getting on this, well, I have to start getting on the scale, which I don't usually do. But yeah.
It's
Exactly.
yeah.
Just
Shauna
face-
says
face
I
the
love
music.
a low calorie dense. Yeah, you have to face the
Face the
music.
music.
You have to. I think
Yeah.
some people say if you really don't want to weigh yourself daily, and that's fine if you
Mhm.
don't. At the very least, what I would recommend is weighing yourself 3 days in a row. Pick the days: Thursday,
Mhm.
Friday, Saturday, for example, and then taking the average of those 3 days.
I have a friend who weighs herself every day.
Yeah. Well,
Do you?
but I used to. I don't
Really?
anymore. And I have been this weight now. I have found this weight that feels good and comfortable for me for about 3 years. And I don't even think about weighing myself. There are days where,
Mhm.
I'll realize later in the day that I didn't weigh myself
Mhm.
because I don't think about it the way I used to. Because now
Mhm.
I love like capital LOVE. I love this way of eating. I feel
Mhm.
like $1,000,000.
Mhm.
I look forward to every meal. I love cooking. The only thing I don't love is putting away the groceries. I don't love that. But I even love prepping. I love it because I know that the decisions I'm making are going to support my health. And that to me is worth its weight in
Mhm.
gold. Right.
Absolutely.
And right. So Shauna says the weight was the last thing that kept her unhealthy.
Mhm.
Right. So
Yeah.
the weight is and the only way to really be paying attention to it is to weigh yourself. It might be painful, but you got to weigh yourself on the same scale,
Absolutely.
wearing the same clothes, which is
Yep.
actually nothing. Weigh yourself naked, right?
Yeah. Well, when I was
And-
23 years old and I joined Weight Watchers, I would wear the same exact outfit every week for months and months.
Same shoes.
Same everything.
So that you'd weigh the same,
Uh-huh.
right? So, but I'm going to suggest that while you want to get down to whatever your goal weight is for, so you can wear those size 4 clothes,
Right.
I'd like to suggest that in the past, our goal was to get skinny
Versus healthy.
and that's it. You especially with potential heart
Right.
issues, and I say to you, I can't lose you. I cannot lose you. And your grandchildren and your children cannot lose you.
Absolutely.
And you are you have to stop. You have to stop self-sabotaging, and you
I have to stop beating myself up.
and you have to be curious instead
Yeah.
of. I need a word that starts with C that kind of goes with sabotaging and or a k sound instead of k. Instead of killing yourself with foods that don't support you, instead of that, I want you to be curious. Why am I wanting this? Why do I want to go into the bin in the garage and have chips? Why?
Right.
And then sit down and do some journaling. And if you don't want to journal because you're too lazy, which is fine, take your phone and dictate it. Have a memo folder where you dictate how you're feeling every single day and why you're feeling like you need to, that you want those chips and you're going to have those chips.
Right.
Before you do that, journal about it, write about it, talk about it.
Or put a tortilla in the oven with a little cinnamon and
take a corn tortilla.
Make my own tortillas.
Make your own. I do that all the time.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yep. Right.
Yeah.
So, Kim, it's true. Eating this way gives you a lot of choices.
So many choices.
And get on the vegetable bus. Make sure you're eating a ton of vegetables. I thought he was in here. Okay. So I think I want to just go to part 3, which is I thought I would read a couple of these and talk about them. Okay. And also let us know in the comments, is this something that would help to have on a regular basis? A live like this, would that be helpful? Are you asking for a particular scale or just a scale in general, Beth? I don't think I'd spend a lot of money personally on those fancy scales with all they can measure your this and your that. Just want to know what you weigh.
That's a good idea, Kim. Weigh yourself at the beginning of the month and at the end of the month. Yeah.
Get on the vegetable bus. As a matter of fact, Shauna, I said to Faye today, I'm going to show it to you. It might be in the dishwasher. Let me see.
Oh, and I'm super excited. Can I just tell you? Super excited because today I ordered a 50-50 bowl.
Oh, you did order it?
I did.
I didn't know that.
I ordered a 50-50 bowl, so it's cut in half.
This bowl.
You have one. Should I show them your 50-50
You can take
bowl?
my 50-50 bowl. This bowl, I got this bowl at a thrift shop, and it's dirty because it's in the dishwasher, but I'm going to just show you. It's made by Corel, and I got it because I thought it was the one. I don't know, Shauna, if it is, but it's the one I think that you have, and it is trying to say, I don't know the size of it, but it looked like the size of the bowl that you use, and I told Faye that maybe it's a little smaller than the one you use, but our lunch, our 50-50 lunch is going to be one of the 50s, and it's going to be full of vegetables, just like the ones that you make. So
okay, here's the bowl. So she changed her name from the Starch Solution something
to 50-50 gal.
To 50-50 gal is her new name. She sells these bowls, and I've wanted one for a long time, but I was too cheap. But Ellen told me that today they were on sale. Now, of course, the shipping was a little crazy, but I ordered it.
Well, it's a white one, right?
Yeah, she has white. I ordered it in white. Isn't it cool? Shauna, what do you think? Are you excited for me? Oh, she said that's my bowl.
Wait, this bowl is your bowl? It's huge. It's ginormous. But you know what? Maybe we'll go to the thrift store today and see if we can find another one.
Yeah.
All right.
Love. I can't wait. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Okay, cool. All right. So I just want to go over a couple things, which is I want to see where we are. We're at 1 hour and 18 minutes. We're doing great. Okay. The first one I talk about is food is fuel. And let's switch places just for a little change. Okay. Food is fuel. Where does that land for you?
Food is fuel. It gives you energy when you have the right food. You know, how many times do you eat at a restaurant, or did you eat at a restaurant, part of being whole food plant-based, that you left and you were like, I want to go to sleep.
Because you're so full.
Right.
Right. food is fuel as opposed to food being entertainment. That's where I go with it. In other words, yes, okay, I'll agree that Michael, what Michael said about that, it's a social thing. I get that. Okay, I get that. And at the end of the day, food is fuel, and you want it to be delicious, but at the end of the day, it's like putting fuel in your car. Food is fuel. Okay. And so on the days that maybe you don't have a lot of your compliant, delicious food, maybe you're at the end of what you have in the house, and you throw together something that's, it's not like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever had in my life. You can also just remember that food is fuel, right? Food at the end of the day, it's fueling your body. And that's the purpose of it, is to fuel your body.
Right.
Okay. So that's number one. Let's talk about oil.
Oil has no nutritive value at all. It has no minerals. It has no vitamins.
It has some nutritional value, but it's have you ever seen the calorie density chart?
No.
You've never seen it?
I probably have.
It's Chef AJ is one of the people that has made it.
I've seen it.
It's and on that scale, there's a scale. Oil is 4,000 calories a pound.
Yes, we are 16 minutes apart. I have a twin sister who's 4 minutes older, and I have a sister who's 16 months older than Beth and I. Okay, continue.
Oil is 4,000 calories a pound. Now, I know that we don't eat a pound of oil. I know that, but just in general, a tablespoon. Can you see if there's a tablespoon in, or do I have it over here? The orange one? No, that's a tablespoon. Is the orange one there? No, it's not. Let me see if I can find it. Probably over here.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where it is. Maybe it's in here. Hold on. It's worth taking a moment and getting it out. Oh, here it is.
That's green.
Did I say orange?
You said it yesterday too.
This is a tablespoon. This is 120 calories. If you put oil in this, that's a lot of calories for oil. And if you're only eating, say, I know that I eat somewhere in the 1,800-ish calories a day, and that works for my body. So if I'm eating and most people, if they're eating oil, will eat one of these, if not more, at every meal, whether it's in salad dressing, whether you pour it to cook your eggs or whatever. Okay. And that same thing for butter too. A tablespoon of butter is that much. So if I'm eating 3 of these in the course of a day, that's almost 400 calories. That's a fourth of my calories, a little bit less than a fourth, but I don't want to eat that. I want to eat those calories in food that's going to fill my belly up.
Absolutely. And you know what? Spray oils, we were talking about this.
Yeah, they're dangerous.
Spray oils are so deceiving because it's oil. What do you mean it's spray? So my husband,
I'm not going to
say a word. When he makes eggs, he takes the can. Or anything, if he stir fries veggies or whatever, he takes the can and he's like, I'm like, whew, that's the same as pouring it out of the olive oil bottle.
Right. And Shauna says that adding oil literally will dull your taste buds and make it so you crave those oily foods. Right. It's it's dangerous. It's poison to your taste buds. Okay. Yes. And so, and you don't need it. And so olive oil, so I'm going to disagree respectfully, Todi, that olive oil is not healthy. And we have been fed that for years by the marketing, the oil companies that make oil. We have been fed that. It's not healthy. It's actually something that it narrows the arteries and doesn't help the blood flow through it. So oil is not healthy. I'm not a doctor. I can't speak from a doctor's point of view, but I'm telling you that I'd rather eat my calories in food that's going to be nourishing and fill my belly and give me fiber. There's not a stitch of fiber in olive oil. There is in the olives, but not in the olive oil.
Right.
Okay. And if you want to make good poops, sorry, but that's part of the deal here. And you want to make good poops, trust me, then you don't want to eat things that are not going to support that. You want fiber. Okay. Yes, simple, fit, physical. On my lunch break, popping in to say hi. Lunch is salad on the side, yellow potato, fruit if I'm still hungry, or a snack. Yep, yum, 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 yum. I'm still stuffed from that breakfast. Are you?
I won't say stuffed, but I'm not hungry.
No, I'm not hungry.
Okay, right? I will be soon.
You will be soon. Okay. So oil, and if you're wondering how am I going to cook without oil, trust me, if you have the right pan, you can do it. You do not need oil. I use water. I use stock.
And I like what you had that like an empty she had like an empty ketchup. Was this the empty ketchup bottle?
Yeah.
She has an empty ketchup bottle.
And
She
keep
fills
them-
it with water. It's so much easier. I always have to go get a cup and fill the cup with water. But this, you keep this
There's
on your
another one, too,
counter.
there. Where's the other
There's another
one?
one
Oh, this
here.
one. I have 2 of them
Just
because I cook
two.
with oil. I just fill them with
Because
oil.
you don't cook with oil.
And also the other, I'm sorry, not oil, with water.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is that when I'm making onions, for example, I don't start with the water. I let the onions, I do it with
Let
a
them brown a
medium
little bit.
and let them caramelize.
Wonderful.
And then
watch
then
them. You got to put, even if you put a little bit of water in to deglaze it,
yeah, and then
let them get brown again.
then they're caramelized.
Right.
They're delicious, right?
Mhm.
So, okay. Tody says, Faye, are you telepathic with your twin sister? No.
In some ways, we like it. It's ironic. We like a lot of the same things. We think alike a lot. It's kind of crazy. I think that I called her from North Carolina and I said to her, hey, what's going on? How do you feel? And she says, I don't know. My right hip really hurts. Her leg, her back. And I said, oh, so it matches my left one? Because my left one, all of a sudden I had such pain in my left.
That's
My-
weird. You didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
That's
So there's
weird.
times like that. We also
That's
pick out
weird.
the same clothes if we're not together. Yeah, we like a lot of the same things.
Hey, if you're watching, please make sure to click on the thumbs up so that YouTube knows that this is a valuable stream so that other people will watch it. Okay, so that's about oil. And also the other thing is, I think you're good at this too, at making adjustments to recipes that have oil in them,
Oh, absolutely.
right? And what do you do?
It depends on the recipe, what the recipe is. I just don't use oil in anything at all.
If you're baking,
Um,
I use
Well,
applesauce or
applesauce.
banana.
right, but you have to understand that the consistency is not going to be the same. What I call the new normal.
It's
I
a
tell
new
that to people
normal.
all the time. You've got to have a new normal, and that's what we have, a new normal.
Okay, so let's see. I want to see. Potatoes are not the enemy. This comes from. By the way, this was an email that I got, which is wonderful, from 50/50 gal, and go find her too. She's fantastic. So potatoes have been demonized for years,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Demonized for years,
Yep.
and no more. I eat potatoes like it's my job. I don't think about it.
Mhm.
What is it about the potatoes that makes them not healthy? It's
What
what
you put on 'em.
put on them.
The sour cream.
The sour cream,
Yeah.
the butter,
Yep.
the oil,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Totally. So it's not the potato. As a matter of fact, do you know that potatoes have more potassium than bananas?
No.
Mm-hmm. Yep. A medium potato has more potassium than a
Wow.
banana. So if you're worried about your potassium, trust me, you don't have to worry anymore. And you can have potatoes morning, noon, and night. There's a guy, I can't remember what his name is, but he did a potato diet for like a year and he lost something like 200 pounds
Wow.
just eating potatoes. Now, I don't want to
I don't
eat
want to
just
go there.
potatoes,
But
right?
no.
But I do love my potatoes. I love them. I
Mhm.
love my starches. And
Those Hannah potatoes were OMG.
yeah, and you want to the Hannah potatoes that I made.
So good.
There's no, we finished them. We should make
We
some more
finished them.
today. From a carb standpoint, if you cook the starches and then you refrigerate, you chill them, it reduces the resistant starch. And also, if you have it with a protein, it also helps. Anybody who has diabetes knows that you don't want to have just an apple. You want to have an apple with some nut butter. You don't want to just have the potato. You want to have some potato with some tofu, right? You want to, they work synergistically. So Tody says, can you
no
please
clue.
know what was, oh, no clue.
No clue.
I'm a Sagittarius.
I'm a Taurus.
Yeah. Don't
But
know much more than
constellations
that.
are, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Next is.
So, okay. Well, I actually
Yes.
I want to just say that I think that we are going to basically, I don't want to use this anymore, but I basically just want to say that this is a doable lifestyle. And if you're struggling and you're having a hard time, just know you're not alone and know that there are people here on YouTube, there are people on Instagram who have your back and who have been on this journey and want to share our knowledge. Shauna, Starchy Shauna, go find her here on YouTube, go find her on Facebook. Come back here because I don't know what it's going to look like. We're going to brainstorm about this 7-day boot camp and we're going to figure out. I'm curious to know in the chat, if we did some kind of a formal, maybe on my Facebook group or something like that, if we did some kind of a formal, everybody join us for this 7-day boot camp that starts today, starts at your next meal,
Right.
would just give us a thumbs up or something. Let us know in the comments, is that something that you'd be interested in doing? Apple is good with peanut butter because you have the carb and you have the protein that work together. Okay. If you're diabetes, you know about how important that is. All right. So we have some thumbs up. So let's do this. I'm going to go here. Give me a second. And I'm going to see if I have a link to my Facebook group, which I will put in here. YouTube. Here it is. I have this. Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat, and I'm going to turn it, and then I'm going to pin it. Okay, so now the message is pinned. So see if you go to that.
She's a genius with this computer skills. It's incredible.
So go to, see if you can click on that and let me know if it takes you to my Facebook group, and then join it. You have to answer a few questions, it's not a big deal. And then we'll take it from there. We'll go into the group and we'll start talking about it.
She asked me, how much do I want? What do I want? I said, I want what you're eating.
Yeah. So whatever I'm eating, she wants. Right. So, okay. So do we have any questions at all? Anybody have any thoughts, questions, concerns? Yay. The link works. Terrific.
Great.
Okay. Anybody have questions? Because if not, we're going to finish. And what we're going to do is we're going to do, the meditation that I always do. We're going to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody, you can do it standing or sitting, your choice, but everybody take a deep breath. And then you're going to take your thumb and your pointer and touch them together like that, and then let go. And then you're going to do your thumb and your fourth finger and let go. And you're going to do your thumb and your third finger and let go. And your thumb and your pointer, your second one, let go. And we're going to do that again. And we're going to say the words, peace begins with me. And we're all going to say it out loud. Okay. And I'll walk you through this meditation. And the idea is that for you to remember that not only does peace begin with you, but the peace that comes from making decisions that support your health also come from you. Okay. So peace begins with you. Me. Sorry. With me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Keep saying it out loud. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Say it quietly. Peace begins with me. Just whisper it. Peace begins with me. Peace begins. Just mouth the words. Now just think the words. And then open your eyes. That's something else you can do when you're on that struggle bus.
Stop and do that.
Stop and do that and remind yourself that the peace that comes from making decisions that support your health, that peace begins with you, not with your husband, not with your children, not with your friends, not with the restaurant. It begins with you. That's where it starts. I want to say thank you so much to Shauna, Starchy Shauna, for being here and being such a wonderful friend and supporter. And she's right on that journey with us. She's been on the struggle bus. She knows what it's about. Make sure you follow her. And if you aren't following me yet, please make sure to do so. And if you...
thank you, Shauna.
If you have not...
Thank you, sister.
If you haven't clicked on the thumbs up emoji, make sure to do that. And just know that you're not alone. I love you.
I love you.
Shauna loves you. We all love you. right?
It's about love.
It's all about love. And all together we can build a better world. Shall we sing it for them?
Ellen wrote an amazing song called Building a Better World. And I used to use it with my preschoolers all the time.
Should we do it?
You start off.
Okay.
She sings better than me.
We're building. Oh, we have to do this.
Yes.
Like this. We're building a better world. We're building a better world. We're building a better world. One person at a time, and the world goes round and round. The world goes round and round and round, and the world goes round and round. The world goes round and round and round. We're building a world with love. We're building a world with love. We're building a world with love. One person at a time, and the world goes round and round. The world goes round and round and round, and the world goes round and round. The world goes round and round and round. We're building a world with peace. We're building a world with peace. We're building a world with peace. One person at a time, and the world goes round and round. The world goes round and round and round, and the world goes round and round. The world goes round and round and round. We're building a world with plants. We're building a world with plants.
We'll change that a little, right?
We're building a world with plants. One person at a time, and the world goes round and round. The world goes round and round and round, and the world goes round and round. The world goes round and round and round. One more. We're building a world with friends. We're building a world with friends. We're building a world with friends. One person at a time, and the world goes round and round. The world goes round and round and round, and the world goes round and round. The world goes round and round and round.
I love that plants. I love adding
I know.
plants. Thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we are all friends. And remember that. All together, we can make the world a better place for ourselves, for our families, for the planet, for the animals, for the environment. We can all do it together, and we're all friends.
And if you're a really good friend in sign language, you just
You go
pull
like
it.
that, and you pull it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Really
Faye,
good
tell
friends.
them that you used to be.
I have a master's degree in deaf education, so I know sign language.
So
Friends.
we're building a world with friends. We're building a world with
Right?
friends.
It works.
We're building a world with friends. One person at a time. And the world goes round and round. And the world goes round and round and round. And the world goes round and round. And the world goes round and round and round.
By the way, we should have been the twins.
All right, my friends. We'll see you again.
Have a good day. See you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Shauna.
Fun. Yeah, very informative, you know?